Welcome to Olderhood Fast Facts. I'm Robin Trimingham, and my guest today is Olderhood CEO Bill Storie. I'm here in the office, and as you're about to see, Bill's at home. Today's topic is how to cut expenses, something that I'm sure is on everybody's mind, Bill.
Well, absolutely is. In these troubled times, there are some, basic money issues, if you wish. Expenses being a big part of that, that we should be taking cognizance of and following a routine. Maybe we're going to have to do this for quite some time. So the sooner we get into a better habit, shall we say, I think the better. I mean, obviously, number one is forget luxuries. Don't be buying luxuries at this time. You don't need that new pair of shoes. You don't need that new handbag. This is a time for making sure that you focus on your everyday purchases. But even there, cut back. There are things. Well, you should be asking yourself. Do I need that at the moment? So try and cut back on some of that stuff. I mean, there's any number of things that you can buy as replacements, tin meats and stuff like that. Robin, what was it that you said you like, beans or something, was it? Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm practically vegetarian, so I'm a big fan of buying dried beans and things like that. You can rehydrate them very easily. It's very, very cost effective, and it's very, very nutritious as well. Lots of protein and things like that. But I agree with your point about cutting back on luxuries. I mean, there's a huge temptation when you're sitting at home and you're not used to that and you're getting a little bored to think that you're just going to whip out your credit card and do some online shopping. And I really think that people need to resist the urge to overspend, as opposed to cutting back, which is what we're really recommending people do.
Well, I think if a lot of people obviously use the credit card to fill the gap, as we refer to, and basically that would mean that if income and expenses are not in line with each other, then if you do want to buy something, you will use the credit card. Now, obviously, that's normally fine. It's normally okay, as long as you keep that one in line with the other and keep your credit card balance in check. But certainly, in these times, be very careful of using the credit card to, as I say, fill that gap. If it's something that you really just don't need or could do without for a few weeks, just keep the credit card in the wallet. Just don't bring it out. And as we say, things like in the grocery store, etc. And probably, from a health point of view, I shouldn't say things like this, but there might be some foods, tin meats we talked about, for example, or tin goods, etc., which you would perhaps not otherwise buy because of preservatives, etc. I think for a short amount of time, you're probably okay to do that, because if they can stay in your kitchen a little bit longer, as maybe they need to be, something we're going to have to think about, then go for it.
Well, I think that old adage, everything in moderation, really comes into play here. I mean, there's a huge temptation out there to stockpile goods of all sorts. And, you really do need to stop and ask yourself, do you really need a month's supply of everything? A few things that are shelf stable, as they say, is absolutely a good idea. But, stick to a budget, shop in moderation, even at a time like this.
Yeah. I think that your point you're making about the stockpiling is bang on. I was reading somewhere, I can't remember where it was in the UK. I think it was that somebody had gone in and bought like 2 years worth of paper towels and toilet paper, etc. 2 years supply. Well, I mean, my first question would be, how did they get it home? I don't think we need to do that. I think we try and encourage people to buy as necessary. All things being equal, you can get back to the grocery store there are some rules and regulations being implemented.
Well, I think that's good advice for everybody. You've been listening to Fast Facts. We hope you've enjoyed this. You can send your comments and questions to Bill, that's BILL, at olderhood.com. And we look forward to chatting with you again soon.